Okay, fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to another edition of the African Students Leadership Academy. Today we have a special guest and a special mentor. You know, I call her Ebi Soul because of the attachment she has, with the lives of other people, especially young people and women. This afternoon and evening, depending on where you are joining us from, okay, can you hear me? It's a privilege to have Ebi Soul to join us again this year. Last year, the impact of her session, has not been forgotten, by the beneficiaries of the last year's cohort. Um, I want to start this way. I want to read out the feedback we got from one of the students that was part of the session last year, the academy last year. I'm talking about Aman Jamal from Ethiopia. Jamal said, on the 9th of August 2023, we had a session with Ebi Elezianya, also referred to as Ebi Soul, and it was an exceptional leadership training experience. As a participant, as a participant in the African Students Leadership Academy, I was among the fortunate students who benefited from her wealth of experience and expertise. Ebi Elezianya, a distinguished purpose discovery expert and CEO of iTeach Africa Initiatives, led an enlightening session on the significance of purpose discovery in our entrepreneurial journeys. Her passion for empowering youths and women was evident throughout the training as she shared valuable insights and practical advice on how to uncover our true purposes. Throughout the session, I learned that purpose discovery is a crucial element in shaping successful entrepreneurial ventures. AB emphasized the importance of understanding our whys and how it drives our passions and motivations. Her interactive approach made the session engaging and transformative, allowing us to reflect on our own purposes and goals. AB's extensive experience in education and leadership development was evident in her ability to connect with the students and provide actionable guidance. Her commitment to nation building through youth and women development is truly inspiring, and we are grateful for her contributions to our Leadership Academy. In closing, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to Ebi Elezianya for the impactful session and the African Students Leadership Academy for providing this enriching experience. I just read a feedback from one of the students, Aman Jamal from Ethiopia, a student or a graduate of Rochas Foundation College of Africa. Aman is here with us, and we are so grateful for the impact the session made in their lives. I'm sure that for those of you that are going to encounter Ebi Elezianya this afternoon, you're going to be very grateful for the Goomba Leadership Center for bringing her once again to coach and mentor young people from across Africa. So this is my way of introducing our pride. Our pride. She's our pride. She's so beautiful and above all, a great woman of God. So, Ebi Elezianya, I want to hand over to you. Thank you so much and welcome, man. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Remy. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank
Oh my
you.
God. All those accolades for one person. Aman, I'm really grateful that you were impacted by the session we had. I like to make sure that every purpose discovery session is immersive and that everybody, to the glory of God, has something that they go home with. I'm glad again this year to be a part of this group. I don't take it for granted, not because I'm very wise or more knowledgeable than anybody, but it's just an opportunity that's been given to me to serve. And I do not take it for granted. Mr. Remy, the Gumba House, and the Gumba himself, I want to say thank you so much for your consistency in seeing that the African students thrive and become global leaders all around the world. I mean, this is what we've been talking about all the years of running Nigeria or carrying um, the citizens along, is that we stand out wherever we go to. We don't even need to try hard. Africans, as a gift to us, as what God has given us, we actually are extremely resourceful, extremely knowledgeable people, and we thrive wherever we go to. And this platform has made a way for so many people to find what their roles are in the world and in the economy and serve it to the fullest. And all the support as well that you give, I'm really grateful. Thank you, sir. Let me welcome all the students who are on ground and on board, and I hope that more of you join. I think this is the first group that is late for class, so we would penalize late comers for class. I'm just joking. I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, so we've actually spent a bit of time, so let's delve into the lectures and let's pray that that one or two of you get an aha moment, because that's what it is about, that you get an aha moment, you become alive, and then you hear something that is going to help you in your journey, because purpose discovery is actually a journey. You do not get there just as a bus stop and stop. No, it's a journey and you keep traveling. Let me begin with thanking my husband again for this opportunity to always serve. I mean, it's not easy having children and serving and doing all the things that we do. So I want to personally say thank you to my husband. And so let's begin the class. Father, we want to thank you because even as we teach today, somebody will be blessed, somebody's mind will be exposed to what you want them to become, and all to your glory. Amen. So I begin discovering your purpose. For everyone who's here today and is yet confused or yet uncertain about what it is that they're supposed to do, let me clearly state that uncovering your purpose is a transformative journey, is a self-discovery journey. It's not outside of you, it's within you. It's about finding the meaningful work that aligns your values and ignites your passion. So any meaningful work that aligns your values and ignites your passion is what we will say is the discovery of purpose. Why is it important? Purpose discovery is important because in discovering your purpose, you find fulfillment. Notice for a few people that are here, and I'd like the comment section to also help me to speak to you people, since we cannot have a chat word for word, but your chat on the group is going to help me know whether you understand what I'm saying. Notice that when you go to somewhere where you are not working to your utmost, or where you work and you do not feel fulfilled, notice that you give the lowest of your capacity, because if you are not being fulfilled where you are, it obviously means that something is wrong. It obviously means that you're probably not fulfilling what it is that you're meant to fulfill. And I'm not saying that you do not get tired. Please feel free to drop your comment here. Yes, thank you. And I'm not saying that you do not get tired even whilst you're on your journey of purpose. I'm just saying that deep within you, you'll find that there's a vacuum. You'll find that whatever you do, there's no satisfaction. For example, when I go out to talk to young girls and help them find their purposes on the streets, at night, during the day, whenever I go from city to city, I find a sense of fulfillment in knowing that somebody that I've spoken to is now going to retract themselves and begin to find their path in life in order to serve. Number two, the importance of purpose is that you are motivated, because the motivation is not coming from outside, because it's coming from within. You are motivated and driven to achieve more goals and positively impact. And then finally, number three, direction. It is like the book in the Bible, Habakkuk 3:3 says, write the vision down and that whoever sees it will run with it. When you don't have a purpose, you don't have a vision, because it's with the purpose that you're able to create the vision. Now, when you have purpose, direction is being made clear. There is clarity of direction. Then you can now have informed decision, and people can help you along the journey. Don't forget that purpose discovery is not just for you. It is also for the people who are on this journey with you. I'll quickly tie it up to the reason why we're here. You're not just students, you're leaders, and you're going into organizations, or you're going to have your own organization where you want people who are purpose driven to work in. One of the most important reasons why organizations are beginning to look into purpose and why they want a purpose, why they want their organizations to be filled with people who are purpose driven, is because it improves employee engagement. If you have an organization where people are there because they are pursuing purpose and because they are in line with their purpose, you will find that personal values of the organization mission, you will find that they are motivated and committed to work. Why? Because their purposes are being fulfilled, even as they fulfill the purpose of the organization. Number two, there would be competitive advantage in the organization. This is because everybody is purpose driven. Everybody's striving to do more than the other person, or everybody's striving in their own capacity. And top talents, organizations who today are available or who are running things in the world today, seek top talents. And the reason why they find top talents, because those top talents have actually understood or found their purposes and are living their purposes. And for that reason, when organizations come to them, they are prepared. So there is competitive advantage with the organizations because they have employed right. They didn't employ wrong. They've employed the right fit for the right whole. And then lastly, for every organization who is purpose driven and who has purpose driven staff, or staff who have found their purposes are on the team, there's a sustainable growth. If you do not have sustainable growth in your organization, it probably means that part of the people who are working in your organization, or a few of the people who are working there, are not aligning to the purpose or their purpose in the organization. One of the things that interests me most about purpose delivery or purposes is the impact that it has on people. So now let me quickly define simply what purpose is. Purpose is the reason which something is done, why something is created, or of why something exists. The reason why you exist, the reason why you do what you're doing, the reason why you go where you're going to, the reason why you're employed where you're employed. You're not just being employed because of finances. I mean, when you look at the Maslow law of needs, you will find that in the number one, the highest is self-actualization. That is because self-actualization is actually finding your purpose and being on your line. There is no need for comparison. You are not on a race or on a rally with anybody. You're not in competition with anybody. Every one of us has a path. Every one of us was brought in for a reason. Every one of us runs a race, not detached from any other person, but separate, unique. Even if you were twins born from the same mother, the same womb, the same embryo, you are so unique, so widely knitted that your purposes do not clash, because you have what it is that you're supposed to fulfill. Lastly, another definition of purpose is it's fulfilling your purpose is going beyond just pursuing a career. It's going beyond a hobby. It's about making meaningful difference in the lives of other people. So just off the top of your head right now, as you are in the group, are you making meaningful differences in the lives of other people? I want you to answer this question now. Are you impacting the lives of other people? Because purpose is not about you. Purpose is about other people. It's coming from within you, but it's to serve your world. You know, I used to define purpose, and I still define purpose. Is my best definition, is that it is a well that is so deep that only you, the drawer, understands the depth of the well and how much you can draw from it. Why? Because it's coming from within you. Everything that you have to serve your world with. Somebody can say you are not capable of doing a certain job or delivering something, but you know the strength that you have inside of you. You know how you can draw, you know how you can reach, you know where you can get, you know your depth, you know your limits. So even when somebody is being negative about what you can bring to the table, you know how far you can go to to. That's how I define purpose. And I love that definition. Thank you so much. I also saw somebody defining or loving the definition. Now, what are the benefits of discovering your purpose? It increases your motivation, number one. Even when you don't have motivation from outside, your motivation is from within. It increases your motivation. You feel more motivated, you achieve your goals, and you take on more challenges quickly, easier, faster. That is the reason why you find your purpose. You are not just going to be walking around in circles, or you're not going to be second guessing yourself that, am I on the right track? Am I doing what I'm supposed to do? You won't be second guessing because you know that where you are, you're on the right track. Now, improved well-being. You find that a lot of people, even when they are in their 80s, 70s, when they are in their ninth stage, different stages of life, when they are in their evening, their ninth stage, you find that they tell you that they are not fulfilled because they feel sick, but the sickness is not a physical sickness. The sickness is in the heart. Why? Because they were not fulfilled all the days of their life doing what it is that they thought they had been called to do. It is very important to find purpose and find it early. So discovering your purpose in a greater part of your life is going to give you satisfaction. It's going to give you overall happiness. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, sorry. Let me slow down. Okay, so improved well-being. That's what the second one is. And finding your purpose is going to give you satisfaction. It's going to give you happiness and then overall well-being. I hope I'm able to follow your pace. Thank you. Thirdly, strong resilience. Because you now understand the journey with which you're in, you will be resilient to navigate the path. Any ups and downs that you face, you will be determined to finish. Because sometimes people become weary on the path of purpose discovery because they do not really understand the path that they are working. But when you understand, or when you discover purpose on time, you will realize that you will have resilience. Even when things are not going well, when things are down, you would say to yourself that I know where I'm heading to. I might not be there, I might be far away from it, but you will have stamina and resilience to go. And then fourthly, you will have greater clarity. I hope I'm a bit slower now for you. You will have greater clarity. Knowing your purpose will provide you the clarity and the direction, and it will help you to make better and informed decisions. Better and informed decisions. There are no organizations today that are running, for example, Apple, for example, Tesla. There are no organizations today that are running without being purpose driven. All the organizations that we have around the world are purpose driven. Now, purpose, being a purpose person or finding your purpose on time will make you a transformational leader. Because in the economy where we are today, leadership is something that is most pertinent, which is why you are even on this group. Leadership is something that is scarce, but you can earn it, you can be trained, you can achieve it. Because when you find your purpose on time, you'll be able to train over the years. You don't just grow into or get into leadership and become good at it. No, you actually go through the systems and you become better at it. You become transformational. The aim of every leader is for you to be able to transform the people who are around you. With finding your purposes, especially in the economy, you become collaborative because you need to collaborate with other people. You're not an island. When you find your purpose, you find that there are other people who are already on their journeys, and then you become collaborative, either with initiatives, for example, Ogumba, partnering with people in the US, partnering with people in the UK, partnering with people in Nigeria. It's because they found and find the area where they are supposed to be. And that's why they are able to figure out and they're able to do what they do seamlessly. There's continuous development as I've already said, there is continuous development, ongoing trainings. You know where you're supposed to be. You don't just jump into any training or jump into any space. You know that I'm meant to be here. And because you know where you're meant to be, you will find the right mentorship for you. For example, here that you are, there are people that have been specifically picked to mentor you through the process. And then your communication is easier. Your communication is easier, even with your staff and your team. communication is easier, because you know what, there is always that position that we know where we're going to. Our vision is clear, our mission is clear. It becomes easier for you, right? Why is it important to incorporate purpose into your life? It's very important, because time, as you live now, is the unit of life. Time is the unit of life. Every day, every second that you spend, you are actually living your life. So you cannot procrastinate and say, oh, tomorrow I'll leave it to when I know, or when I find my purpose. You cannot procrastinate. Every second that you live, you're living your life. Therefore, prioritizing or incorporating purpose into your life, into your daily affairs, into your business is crucial. Every one of us came for a reason. Every one of us came because we have a solution to provide. Prioritizing your discovery process is so important. I cannot overemphasize that. You need to prioritize your discovery process, because once you find it, you run as though you are a gazelle. You will not stop. You just keep running. So incorporating purpose into your life will enable you to prioritize. Number two, it will enable you to set goals. You set goals, you establish your goals, you are driven and motivated to catch up with your goals, to achieve your goals every single day. You collaborate with people. You will surround yourself with supportive community that share the same purposes and the same vision. And then you continuously evolve, because, like I said, discovery of purpose is a journey. It's not something that you're going to be static about. It's a continuous journey. Now, let's get to the big question. What are the steps for discovering your purpose? The first thing I want to say is look into your skills. Look into your skills. So the first step is self-reflection. Self-reflection enables you to explore your values. Your values, for example, a few of them can be integrity, honesty. Your values are you're a good team player. You can explore what your values are. Because for some people, they're discovering purposes, but the purpose that they're discovering is not in line with their values. Your purpose and your values must align. Your purpose and your value must align for you to be able to achieve. Number two, look at your passions. In self-reflection, look at your passions. What are the things that you love doing? I always like to ask this question. What would you do and you will continually do if you are not being paid for it? What would you do and you will continually do even if you're not being paid for it? So an unpaid service, but you still have the passion to do it, and you can do it for free. It's a self-reflection time. You reflect on yourself to be able to get what it is that is within you. Remember, I said purpose is from within. It's not from outside. It is from within. So a self-reflection would allow you to check yourself. It would allow you to check the activities that bring you joy and fulfillment. So let me use myself, for example. When I first started teaching children and going into education, I have a school here in Abuja. I felt fulfilled every day getting to the school and making sure that the children were impacted with knowledge, and coming back home. Every day I saw a child, or every time I saw a child graduating from one class to the other, I had a sense of fulfillment. Every time I saw a child on not knowing something and learning something, I had a sense of fulfillment. I had joy within me. Over the years, I began to fine-tune the work that I was doing to go beyond children who were in their toddlers to primary school, to go beyond that, to even go further to young girls who were out of school, young girls who were now on the streets prostituting, or young girls who will find themselves unable to trace their way back to what it is that God had called them to do. I began to modify what it was I was doing, because it wasn't just about the school anymore, which is an aspect of my business, or which is the business that gives me my daily income. I began to give myself selflessly. I started noticing that when I go out to speak to young girls who were either on the streets, in the red light districts, and we do that in the evenings, or young girls who were maybe abandoned by fathers or mothers, or young girls who were probably raped or are going through trauma, or who were going through substance abuse. I found I was even more fulfilled. Now, I started as a school leader and began to see the gaps in the society, because when teachers came to me, I started finding out that a lot of them were broken. So I had a lot of broken women trying to impact children for the next generation. And I became very concerned. You see that I started out opening a business and just checking and seeing if I could make some funds or monies from the income from the business. But it began to grow beyond that. It began to grow beyond the fact that I was just opening a business, and I started looking at the society, and I started looking at issues and concerns that were coming up in the society that nobody needed to pay me for. Now, whether you pay me or whether you don't pay me, whether you invite me or whether you don't invite me to the society where there is a girl that is hurting, or a girl that is raped, or somebody that's going through trauma or is going through substance abuse, I will come and I will talk to them. I will try and help, whether I'm paid or I'm not paid. Now, that part is what I call purpose. Something that is selfless within you, trying to give back to your community, give back to other people. Now, it doesn't mean that your work, that the job, the office or the organization that you're doing will not be gaining income. However, in your business, a part of it, people, well, I try to argue this fact with people, but it's of no point. When people say giving back to your community is part of purpose, it's giving back to your community. Purpose is way deeper than just giving back to your community. So maybe a Shell or an ENI opens in Nigeria and decides to start giving back to them. That's their corporate social responsibility. It is different from discovering your purpose. Discovering your purpose is an innate thing, something that comes from within. Now, the founders of the organization can use their giving back to their society, maybe because the founder has a love or a need to satisfy a certain what is it called? A certain need in the society. If it's coming from the visionary of the organization, for example, Ugumba has a vision for Africa to make sure that African students are well equipped to go back into Africa to help other students. Ugumba has a burden in his heart to see that people who have talents, people who are skilled, can be found and supported to establish businesses that can help the community. If you come to the Ugumba programs, the ones that we do where we give back, where we give fundings, you will find that a lot of the projects that we choose, or the people that win the awards or the monies, are people who have thought deep to help their communities, to help the people, to help other people to achieve something within them. Maybe, okay, so there was a project I saw with a young girl who created a what is it called now? A self-help incubator. So, and she was targeting that the people who are living in the poorest of areas, when they give birth to babies who are preterm, the children don't need to die. Why? Because most of them pass away because there's no help for them with preterm babies. So she created a warmth wrap that she could use to wrap the babies before they take them to a hospital. Now, that is thoughtful. That is coming down to a problem solving. You are solving a problem in the society. That is what it's about. When you look deep into yourself, anything that you find like a problem within the country that you are angry about and you want to do something about it, that is an indication of you trying to discover what it is that is being placed in you, finding your purpose. When you find a problem and within you, you want to solve that problem, you want to do anything to solve that problem, it is an indication. It's an indication, because sometimes people find that and still veer away from that. But it is an indication that something within you is calling. It's like deep collect onto deep. You are yearning to help. You are yearning. I get very frustrated when I see criminal cases. I get very frustrated when I see things go wrong where people's what is it called, is being taken away from them. People's liberty. When I see people being oppressed, I get vexed in my spirit and I want to help. That innate call in me is something that whether I'm being paid for or not paid for, I would help. For example, I would never leave an accident scene, whether there's blood, whether there's death. I've entered several problems, but because I know why I'm doing it, I don't mind doing it. When I get to an accident scene, I quickly whisk the people who are in the accident and I take them to the hospital. I go as far as I can to help. One of the times, and this is a very funny story, I do not advise anybody to do it. One of the times we had an accident scene that was very gory. I was looking at the man and I knew this man was not going to make it. But I insisted that we take this man to the hospital. Luckily for me, I found somebody who I later found out was a uniformed person. When he saw how I wanted to help, he assisted me and we got to the hospital. The first hospital rejected the person. I didn't stop. I kept saying, let's go to another one. We went to another hospital. And by the time we got to the second hospital, the man was already dead. Now, this for me was, it won't stop me from doing what I have to do to help any accident victim. However, when the man was dead, the hospital refused to accept the man. We had to wait. It was at that point that the person who assisted me in the middle of the road told me he was an officer and that I shouldn't worry, everything was okay. We contacted the boy's family, and when they came, they found out that okay, everything was fine. The hospital also confirmed that by the time the boy got here, he was late, and they just made burial preparations for him. Now, within me, would you say to me that the next time I see an accident scene, I should walk away? I won't. I would still do what I would do, which is to help somebody who is in need. Because what if the man's life was saved? I mean, sometimes we dabble with things. What if? It's not our business to dabble. It's for you to go in and do what it is. And I will tell you why sometimes a few of us don't actually discover our purpose. Number two, we seek guidance. We don't just blindly walk into anything that calls deep into deep. We seek guidance, because for people who are like me, and a few of us can be like me, we are multi-hibernates, meaning that we have every single day of my life, I am thinking and dreaming about something new to do every single day. I don't find that a problem. I know who I am. I am a creative. So whenever I get new inflows, whenever I get new channels coming into me and I'm longing to help or longing to do something, I just write it down. Now, one way that you can help yourself is to talk to a mentor, talk to a coach, find out, does this align with your values? Remember, we started with alignment with your values. Does this align with your values? You have to find somebody who is trusted. I will give you another example. One of the times, no more what ifs. Thank you, my darling. No more what ifs. One of the times I wanted mentorship because I had already started the school, but there was something else brewing inside of me. And it was almost overtaking me, overwhelming me, if I must say. I would get to the market and I would see materials and I would just flex. Now, education and tailoring are in two different angles, two different worlds, two different pillars of the economy. But I was deeply involved in educating people, and I still wanted to express myself, my creative aspect in fashion. I growing up as a child, I always had artworks and I was always painting. In my family, we are gifted in the arts. We like to paint, we like to draw. My sister is into art, my brother is into art. In fact, my children are now into art. So I didn't want that flair in me to die. And I'm saying this because there's somebody who is on this group. You are finding it difficult because there's so many good things that you can do and you do them well. It's not that you are tampering with different things. No, if you find 3 things to do, you actually are confused, not because you are mistaken in any one of them. It's because the 3 of them that you do, you actually do it well. Yes, I get you. Now I'm coming to that. I had to sit with a mentor. Unfortunately for me, that's great. That's great. Samuel, that's great. Archie, that's great. Sylvester, that's great. I actually had to sit with a mentor. Now I followed. I was young. I followed the crowd. Everybody said, oh, this person is a good mentor. This person is a good mentor. Not every mentor is your mentor. You have to find a mentor that is for you. Notice that there are certain people who come to me and they share their stories with me because I'm helping discover purpose. I'm helping you get out of trauma. I'm helping you deal with soul ties and soul wounds and all sorts of abuses that are coming. Notice that people just come to me. And I say to them, when I see that the situation is not something I can solve, I'll say to them, I have somebody else who I think shares the same story. Now, if somebody doesn't share the same story with you or hasn't gone through what you are going through or what you have been through, they cannot clearly assist you or help you. They can try, but the journey is not the same journey as yours. Not every mentor is your mentor. You have to find mentors who are trusted, somebody who you can share with, and they do not they would not castigate you or smear at you or say something that would kill your vision. A few people are vision killers. Sometimes, now let me state this for somebody who is here, and you need to hear this. When the vision is bigger than you, it is from God. And if you keep seeking people's approval, you will never get to it. Because for some people, they are looking at where you are, they are not looking at where you are going to, or they are not seeing where you are going to. Remember, I said purpose is a deep well that only you, who is the drawer, understands how deep it is, and only you can draw from it. Now, somebody who is shallow or who doesn't understand where you are heading to, they help you discover what is within. You need to be careful. You need to be extremely careful, and you need to make sure that the people who are advising you, who are mentoring you, the people who will choose to mentor you, understand the journey, even if they can't see the clear picture, but they will nudge you on and say, you go for it. Do you know what? The people that never fail are the people that never succeed. There are times that you will put all your eggs into one basket and pursue it with all diligence, and then it will not come out to anything. Dust yourself up, rise up again, pick up the next one, and do it again. Now, it is that notion that failure is wrong that is stopping a lot of us from discovering things that we need to discover. Somebody needs to mute their system.
Okay.
Somebody needs to mute their system, please. So, seeking the right mentorship is the best thing for you to do, because they will provide insights, they will provide support on your discovery, and it will help you. Finally, identify your strengths. What are the things that you are most strong in doing? What are the things that when you do, you find that nobody is, I can almost sleep and cook. It's not because I'm a chef. It's just that when I am sad, the way I express myself is to either cook, to draw, or to create a dress. I can just cook. So I'm going to go back to my mentorship story, because I went to this particular mentor and she kept insisting that I stayed on the education. And I kept saying to her, I said, no, I know that education is where I am right now, but there's something else that is brewing, meaning that you can actually be in two initiatives at the same time, even though you would find that after a while, they will all align. I will tell you where my alignment is coming to now. They will all align. You can't just throw it away because you have already started. You must nurture it. You must look at it. You must speak to somebody. You must discover it to the end. God is a multi-talented, multifaceted God. There is no way God gave you one skill. Nobody ever has one skill. If you listen to the story of the talent, for those who are Christians, for those who are not Christians, it's just a story that said there are people who have talents, 3, 4, 1, 2. The ones who buried their talents never discovered it. But the ones who explored it, the ones who used it, the ones who tried to check it out, became better at it, or they became fruitful with one of it. So identify your strength. Recognize your unique skills. You have unique skills. Is your skills in helping people sort out their problems? Is your skills in helping people find locations or something. It could be something that you are trivializing, but it is the jackpot that can open you up. Look at how right now everybody is so dependent on the internet. We never used to be like that. Everybody is so dependent on the phone. We never used to be like that. I am certain that when they were creating the codes for the phone, one time or the other, they failed. One time or the other, they decided that they were not going to do it again. But you see, there was something burning in them. How far can you see? It is how far you can see that you'll be able to pursue what it is that you are pursuing. If you cannot see, you cannot pursue. Let me now bring you to reasons why people never or really never actualize their purposes. And this is a quote from Miles Monroe. Miles Monroe said that the greatest and the most profitable and the most richest place on earth is where? Is the grave. The reason being that a lot of people die with the things that have been put in them. I am now telling you confidently, like me, that you can pursue 2 or 3 things, and once you continue pushing and pushing, they would all align. They would align. Now, I'm not just creating, I'm actually teaching people to explore their creative sides, because a lot of us have creative side, but we kill it. We kill it because people will say, jack of all trade, master of none. No, when you're discovering your purpose, you don't shut down one and open another, because you never know what the gold coin is. None of us knew, because if we had known, we would have just started out our lives and began. You know, when we begin to teach purpose, I begin to teach on the circle of life. Because in the circle of life, if you're within the age of 1 and 25 years, you are actually in your learning stage. We call it the morning stage. We call it the stage where you are learning. Because in that stage, you are allowed to make as much mistakes as you want. But people never, in fact, the people who never even want you to thrive because they love you too much to allow you to make mistakes is, number one, your family members. Your family members will try to shield you from making mistakes. But you know what? Mistakes are the best way that you can learn. A few of us have learned from other people's mistakes, but for some of us, we have to make the mistakes. We have to do the exploration. We have to make those mistakes and correct them. And that's how we can achieve. Because if you do not make a mistake, you cannot advise somebody else who is going to be on that journey with you. For example, if you are a leader, a CEO, how can you correct somebody if you yourself were shielded from any of the mistakes? So you see that purpose, when you are in your learning stage from 1 to 25 years, it's your time to make mistakes. Now, if you're here and you're above 25 and you're getting to, maybe you're within the branch of 25 to 50 years, you are now in your afternoon stage. Your learning stages are over. You cannot start learning in your 25 to 50 years. That is your age for appearance. That age is the time where you go from country to country doing what you're doing. And I'm not here to castigate anybody, because if you're already late, then that means that you really need this lecture. You really need this training, and you need to sit down within the next 3 months and sort out what it is that you need to sort out so you can thrive. One of the reasons why people never achieve is because of the fear of the unknown. If it is unknown, why are you afraid? Why do we build up what is it called now? Imaginations upon things. Or what if the economy, what if the dollar? Anybody who ever decided to look at the economy or the dollar or the rain or the dry season will never sow. You need to sow when you need to sow. Don't ever, don't ever wait for anybody to tell you you are afraid or you live in fear or don't do it or this is a mistake. No. Anyone who does not, like I've already said, try by themselves to achieve, the first thing you will do is you will fail. The first thing you do is you make a mistake. Another one, you will fail. You will make a mistake. I can't tell you how many times I have invested in things and have failed. How many platforms I've shut down, even with investment monies, tons of money. But that doesn't mean I won't invest. It doesn't mean I won't invest. It doesn't mean because of the fear of what has happened, I have learned. Yes, you do learn a lesson, because each mistake that you make, there's a learning curve with it. but you are not failing backwards, you are failing forward. Because you have learned, you are now able to move on. Number two, and quickly, doubt and hesitation. You are doubting yourself, you're second guessing yourself. These are negative talks. And when we do deal with trauma and soul ties, soul wounds, we talk about negative talks. We talk about talking yourself down. It's in your head. Nobody is telling you, but you're telling yourself, I cannot do this. It's a mindset. And every mindset that is negative is not a growth mindset. A growth mindset will say, I would achieve, I would go, I will move forward. And as you keep moving forward, you will find that you begin to find people who have already made the mistake and you learn from them. But if you never ever try, you will not even be able to ask for help. For example, if you're going to see me and ask me for help, I would ask you what you have done. And if you've never done anything, I'll ask you to go do it and find out what it is that you failed at, so that when we're speaking, we're on the same level. Number three, societal expectations. There are expectations that people have of us. If we follow all the expectations, including of certain families, we will never be able to do that which God has uniquely called us to do. There's a unique dealing, a unique calling that is specific to you. If you follow, everybody is selling dollars now because dollars is high. Maybe you will not thrive at it. If you follow, everybody is opening a school because schools are earning money. When you wait 5 years and you do not hit equilibrium, you'll be sad. You'll be unhappy because you didn't ask what it is that you're supposed to be acting. Self-reflection. You need to reflect. You need to find out where your strength is, and you need to follow. The power of purpose, as I begin to round up, the power and the transformativeness of finding your purpose is that you gain clarity. Clarity is very important on this journey. Even as you keep digging for gold, sometimes something that you find looks like gold, but it's not, but you keep digging. If you don't dig, you don't get clarity, because if you don't dig, you don't find the gold. You keep digging, because in digging, you are beginning to create direction. You're beginning to see mistakes. You're beginning to see what you should do, what you shouldn't do. As you keep digging, you are guiding yourself into meaningful work and fulfillment. Because if I dig for you, you won't understand how I got there for you, which is why sometimes it's always, if you're not good at something, I advise you to outsource. But I also advise you to try. When you have failed, then you can now outsource. But of course, if it's in a business that is well established, you will not be able to try and fail. When I started my school, I did all of it. I taught, I was at the admin, I was in the accounting department, I was in the creche, changing baby pampers. I did everything. Now, when somebody comes to me and I'm employing the person and the person says, oh, I can't change diaper, I look at them with very funny looks and I say, okay, come, let me train you. And I can train that person to change a diaper or to be an administrator or to do anything. Sometimes when you have gone through, you would be able to identify somebody else's skill and help them pull through. So you have the opportunity to be in a class where you're learning to find your purpose, gain clarity, understand what it is that you're doing, find out what it is amongst the things that is calling to you. Which one is the strongest? Beginning with that one, then begin to find out others, because I have said you can't drop others because you don't know which one is a gold mine. This one might be calling to you because there's possibility that is going to happen right now. However, the others might be looking like it is sleeping. But if you churn it, if you keep churning it, you will find that the ones that even looks clearer is not the clarity, is the one that you have dumped or the one that you didn't think anything of. That's the one that you can use. Number two, motivation. When you know your purpose, you feel more inspired. You feel inspired. You feel the purpose transforms you. You get your team for life. Your team for life are those people who are already on the same journey or who have already achieved or who are at the beginning. Everyone is at a number or a step of purpose. They are in a journey. Everyone has a bus stop. Maybe somebody is in bus 1, bus 2, bus 3. And as you keep going, you find the people and they can help you through. resilience. Your sense of purpose will help you navigate through. It navigates through life in everything. It cuts out the expenses that you do, random expenses. You hear this training is going on, you go there. You hear this one is going on, you go there. No, it will cut out all those excessive spendings, because now you now know where you're going to. You are determined to achieve it, and you are determined to go. And the greatest of all, which is Maslow's theory, hierarchy of needs, is the fulfillment bit. Anything that you are doing that does not give you fulfillment, I don't know how to define fulfillment to you, is an innate satisfaction. It's a satisfaction that nobody can pay you for. It's a satisfaction. For example, every time you see Ugumba with students, putting students together, making sure that they are being trained, Mr. Remy, organizing training, getting sponsorship for one or two of us, it gives them a satisfaction knowing that they are doing something. Instead of complaining about the economy, they're actually doing something to help the African students. They're actually involved in the process of making you who you are. Remember, when you attain, you'll forget the people who said no. You most times we forget the people who helped us through. We remember the people who said no. But the ones that have helped us through, most times we forget them, we neglect them. I'm happy to tell you that most of the people that will help you through this journey, because you have found your purpose, you won't forget them. You would make sure that you go back and tell them how far you have come, and make sure that in this your journey, you are able to help somebody else find what it is that they are good at. Who you are is so critical to your purpose. Who you are, whether it's by how you've been born, where you have been born, the exposures that you've had, whatever your family backgrounds are, it all amounts to who you are supposed to be. There's no mistake in creating you. This is for somebody. There is no mistake, whether it's the family that gave birth to you, whether it's where you are born or the place where you are from, whether you even thought you were not supposed to be African. There is no mistake. There's no mistake in who you are. Everything that you have gone through, whether positive or negative, it's all intertwined in alignment with who you are supposed to be. None of it is wasted. Whether it's a choice that you made or a choice that you did not make, whether the choice was made for you or the choice was not made for you, it's all intertwined. It brings you to who you are supposed to be. Yes, I saw somebody saying whether they have a question. Please ask your question, and I'll take one or two, and then we'll now round up. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Wow. Please, can you put your hands together for our mentor for today, Ebi Soul? Please put your hands together. Put your hands together. So, time to speak. If you have a comment, if you have a question, someone said he or she wants to speak. Who's that again? Who's that? Please, can you unmute yourself and speak? If you have a question, if you have a comment, please, let's have them now. One after the other, please. Go ahead. Who's that wants to speak? Please raise your hands. Okay, peace good. Can you unmute yourself and
to find out on the kind of mistakes that can ruin your life?
Okay.
If I get you correctly, that's what you're asking, right? I think the comment is there. I'd like you to emphasize on the kind of mistakes that can ruin your life. Wow. On the kind of mistakes that can ruin your life. So we talked about values, because your values are a definition and a sum total of who you are. Anything that is not in alignment with your values, for example, let me use a very clear and very easy one. You are in a group of friends, and maybe this group of friends are maybe Yahoo, or let me take that away. Maybe they are into robbery, or they are into something that is not good, that is not in line with your value. Your parents have taught you, do not steal, do not take something that is not yours, do not what is it called now? Do not cheat anybody. And you are doing what is not in line with your values. I need you, first of all, my first assignment for you today, and thank you, Peace, for this question. What are your values? I want you to define your values. Take a pen and paper and write your values down. What are my values? My values in life is integrity. My values in life is loyalty. My values in life is this. What are your values? Maybe you list about 7 or 8 values. What are your core values? What are your core values? I don't deal with people who cheat their friends. One of my greatest prayers in this life is that I never cheat a friend. Somebody who I call my friend, and it's not everybody that is your friend. The one that is your friend is the one that shares the same values with you. Now, if you go against your values, these are mistakes that are irredeemable. Anything that is against the value system that you have set for yourself. You know how we always set goals for our organization, we set goals for different things, but we never really set goals for ourselves. Is there anything that you are doing? How you know that is against your value? Your heart. You have anxiety when you're doing it. You will be anxious when you're doing it because it's against the principles that you have lived by. One thing that I have, for example, if people are malicious or people are wicked around me, I've had a lot of treachery around me, a lot of betrayals around me, and this is because you asked this question. But the one thing that God has helped me do is that whenever you have these betrayals and stuff, He heals me fast and I move on. Now, my instruction from Him is, do not be offended by what they do to you. You move on. I will attend to them. The minute I become offended, the minute I try to revenge, it is against my value system. Now, the minute I try to revenge, I find that I struggle because I am going out of my way to do something wicked to somebody that I am not supposed to do. Because even in line with my Christian values, and your value systems are not just built just by your personal life alone. Your value systems are built by the places that you go to, the people you interact with, your society, the place. For example, if you're a Christian, you build your values around your Christian values. If you're Muslims, your values are sometimes built around your Muslim beliefs. So values are built around belief systems, and your belief system, if you go against your belief system, then you are making mistakes that you cannot come back from. So Blessing, I don't know if I got your question, if I answered truly what you wanted me to answer, but I feel you have a deeper question you want to answer. Mr. Remy, I don't know if our email addresses can be given to maybe Blessing so that she can ask. There's something she wants to ask, and I don't think it's for the public, so I feel I should have a one-on-one with her. I don't know if that's you.
No, that's fantastic. That's a privilege. What's her name again? Blessing or Peace? I think that's Peace.
Yes. Peace.
Okay. So Peace. Okay. I think the best way to handle it is, Peace, reach out to me so that I can connect you with our speaker. Is it okay?
That's great.
Yes, sir. It's okay, sir.
Okay, good. So yeah, now Sylvester, where are you? Can you make your comment or ask your question, Sylvester? Hello, Sylvester. Okay, yeah. So unmute. Let me help you unmute. Can you unmute yourself?
Yes.
All right. Go ahead.
Thank you very much for allowing me to speak. First of all, I want to appreciate Mrs. Ebi Elezianya.
Sylvester, sorry, we can't hear you.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you have network issues. Can you? What do we do? Do you go out and log in again? I think that will be able to clear it.
Type your question.
Okay, or you just drop your question on the comment section. If that is okay
Let
by
me
you.
All right, let me just drop it on the comment section.
It's better now. It's clearer now.
I think it's better now. Go ahead and speak now.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Remy, for allowing me to speak. Also, first of all, I want to appreciate our speaker today, Mrs. Ebi Elezianya, for this wonderful section. But I must say that I'm already on my path to discovering my purpose from this section. Okay, I just have a little question based on when you are explaining to us. You talked about when you have you made emphasis on when you have multiple skills, then you'll be confused. You'll be confused on which is actually your purpose. I think I'm having that issue, kind of having that issue. So I would like you to throw more light on it. Then Secondly, I also would like you to throw more light on you talked about skill. You talked about mentor situation where you are confused and kind of how can you actually get the right mentor for your purpose. So that is my question actually. Thank you.
Great. Let me start with the last question, which is how can you get your right mentor? Most people, if you go to most mentors, most people who have thrived in your field, in the field that you want to go into, you will find that they all have a story and a journey. Listen for their stories and listen for their journey of how they thrived. In their stories, you will find whether they are the right people to talk to you or not to talk to you. In their journeys, so you have maybe if you wanted to be if you wanted to go into maybe the banking sector, you wanted to go into the education sector, who are the lead people there and who are those that are there are a few lead people that are not doing mentorship, but there are people who are there that are available for mentorship. And they have been taking different cohorts. If you go online, you will find them. I'm sure in this group as well, we have a list of mentors with experiences across board. And I think that's the beauty of the Ugumba Academy and the Leadership House. They didn't just bring one kind of people, like just Africans. They brought people who are Indians. We have Americans. We have British people on the platform. We have people who have worked in vast organizations across board, people who have worked in the banking sector and then come back to education, PhD. There are several people. We have doctorate degrees holders on this platform that you can reach out to and say, now, peradventure, the mentor you're looking for is not in this group. The way to find them is to find out what their journey is, find out what it is that they've been through, because the one that has been through is the one that can help you. Now, I was talking about clarity when you are a multi-hibernate. For me, for example, every day I wake up, I'm a solution provider. So solutions just come. In fact, I have an aspect of my work that I actually sell solutions to people. I'll wake up in the morning and I'll call a friend. I'll say, come, you that you are in catering, this catering box that we're doing, can't you do it like this? In fact, I had a prayer time where this type of idea came, and I'll send it to them and have POSs. Like when you go to America or London, there's a cashback process that you can do. Is that something that we can do that is cash backed? And he said, okay, he will look into it. Before I knew it, the POSs were everywhere. If you are a multi-hibernate, somebody who constantly brings out things, the first thing I said you should do is write it down. Do not take action on all. Write it down. Churn all of the ideas that you are receiving. Which one is in line with your value? Which ones are directly in line with your value? So now the person is asking me, what if you have 2 or 3 or 4 that are in line with your value? You have to do it one at a time. Imagine if you're driving a car, can you drive on 3 roads at the same time? No, you can't. You'd have to drive your car maybe from A to Z, find out that from A to B is not where you're going to. Then you come back and you say A to D. That's why I said, if you're in the circle of life 1 to 25 years, that is your learning stage. And I hope that at you are amongst the 1 to 25 years old, because if you're in 25 to 50, you cannot be on your learning stage. You need to be seeing a mentor and sitting down for definite solutions as to where you are going to. I hope I've answered that. Audrey said something. Somebody called Audrey. Okay.
I asked where she has been.
Oh,
Okay. So yeah, Janet has a question. Janet, where are you? Can you come up with your question? Janet Udon.
Section. I really enjoyed it. So I just want to ask a question. You said we should like identify our strengths. So like I have many things I'm good at because like anything I do, I'm always good at it. So how do I like find the one that is in line with me? I don't know if you understand my question.
let me now use Janet as our example. Janet, tell us all the things you're good at.
Okay, so like I'm into music, I'm into like colors, anything creative. art stuffs. I like writing. Just there are many things.
You have helped yourself already now. Tell me, okay, from the lesson that we've heard now, tell me where you are. Which industry are you in? You have actually answered the question in just you speaking. Which industry are you in?
I'm in the creative industry.
Color. You are in the creative industry. Beautiful. So that's a definite. You're in the creative industry. Which part of the creative industry are you? So when you say color, you like to sing. Did you say sing?
I said something.
You said sing. So we're entering entertainment, right? What else do you like to do? When you say color, painting, drawing, what?
Yes. Just
Paint.
like mixing of colors or stuffs.
When you finish mixing the colors, what do you use them to do?
Just like, cause I also like I draw all these like, cause when I was in secondary school, I draw all these dress and stuff, and like when I draw them, I used to like make patterns on them, and I'll just bring out different colors to join together. And
Beautiful. Have you ever thought of interior designs?
uh, no, not really, because
Not
I'm
really.
currently in school. Like I'm schooling part time, and I go to work in the morning and I go to school in the evening. So
What
I'm
are you
very busy.
studying?
Okay, I'm studying food technology.
Food technology.
Yes.
Ah, we are in three different angles. Oh. You need to understand. Now, it already seems, how did you get into food technology?
Okay, like it's still like all these like creating designs for food, like sustainable food,
So
how to
that
prolong food life. Ah,
I hear me.
I can't hear you very well.
I agriculture. When you say food, we're still in the
Yes,
creative, but now
yes,
you're
yes,
we're narrow it down. When you now say food, you're now in the agricultural industry, in the agri
yes.
sector. So we are in three different sectors. We need to find at what point all three of these things that you like. And I think in a wider understanding with a closer mentor, you'll be able to draw a line where all the three meets. That's where you're supposed to be in. Where does pain come in connection with singing, come in connection with this food agric you're studying? Where does it all align? And I know there are a few people in Nigeria who study one thing and never go into what they've studied. It's okay. You can study something because you want to get a degree, but now that you have heard this lecture, make sure that your next line of study is something that goes in line with where your passion is. Because the problem that will happen if you go into something that you are not interested in, or that deep is not calling on to deep, you will become stuck. You almost become like, why am I here? What am I doing here? This industry. That's when you see people jumping from today they are in an assistant office. Tomorrow they are working in this place. Next tomorrow they are working here. I don't see a correlation in the three things that you're doing. That's where I am right now. Maybe later you can expound. You are studying business, food technology, if I got you
Yes,
right. You're
yes,
studying
ma'am.
food. Your flair. After studying the food technology, where do you want to go to? Your flair is in painting, mixing colors, entertainment. If I'd seen that just as it is, I would say of course you're a creative, and then you're supposed to probably be in the industry of designs or something. But it's now this food technology that is a bit confusing for me, because I don't study of food technology. I can look into it and get back to you.
Okay,
If I
ma'am.
know the study of food technology and why you started studying food technology, I will understand better what your journey is. That's why I said it's not just stop. It's it's going to keep unveiling. It will keep unveiling. Tomorrow you have graduated, Janet, from food technology, and you say to yourself, okay, in this food technology, I can color rice for children. That's where your love for coloring is. I can make yam a bit more tasty. It's like people now doing colored gari, colored this thing. You can now mix colors to say, okay, this food can be made better this one can be made this is the food coloring that is better for a child who wants to eat this. Do you see where I'm coming from? There is now
Yes.
a measure where you are and what it is that you are having flares about. Because when you tell me you like colors and you like to mix colors and you like painting and you like all these things, I'm thinking that yes, you are a creative, but the arm of the creativity that you want to do, we have not narrowed it down. So don't shut any of it down, whether it's the coloring, whether it's the singing, whether it's the entertainment. Pray about everything and then write down what you are getting and sensing. I want to take it that you are in your learning stage, right? Between
Yes,
1 to
ma'am.
20, you are.
Yes,
So
yes.
this is the time for you to begin to churn it and make sure that by the time you're leaving your learning stage to your establishment stage or your presentation stage, you are already understanding where you're supposed to be.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
I hope I didn't.
Okay. Yeah, let me just add to what you said. And before before we leave that discussion, Janet, just like Mama said, uh, find out the ones you do, and get satisfaction from, the particular ones you do, and you are happy, you get joy, you derive joy doing them, not by struggle, effortlessly. You want to do them, even when you are sleeping and you are called up, you want to do them. So look at those ones, outline all of them, and then look at the ones that you can do effortlessly. And I think those ones are where you belong. Okay, so Mama, I think I just say well for supporting you there. Audrey, can you take over now? I've been
Yes, sir.
looking for you. Yeah, good. I've been looking for you since where have you been?
All right, thank you, sir, and good evening, everyone. I want to say thank you to Ugumba Leadership for these programs that they are doing for us, and I would also like to thank our moderator for today, Ms. Ebi. Like, we know, like, finding purpose in life is not something that is so easy. We need people like you to guide us, people like you to. At some point I thought, like, we are now in the heavenly realm. When you're bringing about Christianity into the conversation, it really means a lot to us. The message was well delivered. And yes,
Thank
I kind of came late into the meeting, but I told myself that I will not miss it. And I'm so happy that I met what I wanted. Like, my expectations were met through this meeting. I just want to say thank you so much.
Audrey, there is no discovery of purpose without channeling it back to the one that created you. It is him that knows what he has put in you and how he wants you to see the world. Because we cannot take away God from any of it. He's the giver of the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding of everything that you have. He's the giver. So yes, it comes from within you because he is the one that planted it. But the glory of God to hide. It's the glory of kings to find it. You are a king when you have discovered what God has put in you so that you can help your world. So yes, darling, thank you so much for your comment. And I pray that you'll be able to discover early and that the world is waiting to see you and receive of your body of knowledge. Thank you so much.
Okay, fantastic. Ibe, are you ready for your question or for your comment? Ibe, go ahead, unmute yourself. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma. Thank you so much. Okay, sorry. I don't know where you are, but here in Nigeria, it's kind of, okay, in the evening. So, I actually want to say a big thank you. Although I joined in late, but I mean, with the little I've been able to hear, it really has impacted me in no small way, ma.
Thank you.
Um, yes, ma'am. So, I'm almost like I forgot her name now. The other lady who just spoke. So for a long time, I had been in that space where I was doing too many things, and almost like her, it's almost as though everything I actually set my mind to do, there was this. I will not say, but there was this excellence that came with it, and it
Right.
kind of made it a little bit kind of difficult for me to really point out what it is that okay I really want to do.
Okay.
So, but just recently, I think that was I think last year. last 2 years, first of all, I actually found that I had really this flair
Okay.
for teaching. So part of the things that actually contributed was I actually finished school. I finished school, and then getting admission here in Nigeria was kind of a problem in the federal school. So I resolved that I wanted trying to work a little bit, trying to see how I can at least earn some money to sort out some little needs and probably take care of myself. So,
Right.
but then I started teaching in this primary school, and I just noticed beyond teaching, there was this joy and fulfillment I usually used to get, and
Right.
I would go all out even when the other teachers are not really. There's this, and then the love which the children used to have for me, it was something else, honestly. I mean, they would literally be like, "I want to be like IB," and the parents would come. They're always talking about Mr. IB.
Mm.
Hello,
Yes, I can
yeah.
hear you.
So and then I actually began driving that passion, and then whilst I later got admission, that was 2 years ago. I actually started teaching slightly earlier, 2 years ago, and I started tutorials. And to God be the glory. I mean, the teaching thing has been something that God has really helped me with. And I actually started a tutorial here on campus.
Right.
Started a tutorial here on campus, and God has been granting this. So more personally, I wanted asking, even though it's kind of something that I do as a I don't as something voluntary, something I actually wanted. I don't know how to go about maybe trying to convert it in a way to generate some sort of income, because I don't really want to do plenty things. Like I said, I had been doing plenty things, so I want to see how I can channel it and connect it to a way I can also generate some income from it.
Great.
And coupled with the fact that also sorry man, also last year I also delved into graphics design, and like I said, it has been a whole journey for me, and God has been granting this. So just how I can grow and then combine the two of them into something really great, man. So that's it for me, man.
Okay, great. I like what you said. For so many people, they start off with earnings, then dabble into something deeper. They start up. So if you're here and there's a difference between your job and what we are talking about. In your job, you'll find that there's even better and more fulfillment. For example, you're working somewhere, and inside that place, there is much more to give, which is what you discovered. So you'll find that the uniqueness between you and a normal random teacher who is just working for money is that you are now more involved in the process. You can tell easily that the parents, the students, they can see much more efforts from you. That's because you find that there's something deeper that is longing for that thing that you're doing. Now, on your journey
Yes,
and
man.
what you're doing, monetization will come, because there most of it, God gives you talent so that you can monetize it. So it's not a problem for you to monetize. We're not saying that find your purpose and be poor, or find your purpose and not have money, because for you to actually source the other things that are happening in your house or settle the bills and all those things, it's your skills and your talents and your giftings that you're still going to use. So don't be afraid, don't be ashamed to put a tag to your knowledge, your wisdom, your understanding, what it is that you're teaching. You said clearly that you're teaching on campus. If you're teaching on campus, it's not for free. You can passionately teach when you want, but because you're also living your life and taking time off your own personal time, then you put an amount to your time. So, for example, my father, when he was in university, he used to teach accounts. He taught accounts to people because he was very good at accounts. In fact, he found his wife teaching accounts. He married his wife because he was a good teacher.
Wow.
He found his wife. But
Wow.
when he started, people used to pay him to teach them accounting. So you can start off and say, okay, for a 30 minutes lecture or a 30 minutes rearrangement of what the lecturer has taught me. I'm putting this fee to it. Now, your value that you have been given is going to speak for you. So don't be afraid, except you are not giving value. If you're giving value, you can monetize your value. You can even go as far as away from your campus and monetize it. That's why you're learning graphics. You know, I tell you people that nothing is wasted. When you are online, you can actually learn to create a flyer and check for other students who are in other campuses and say, oh, you can join our online class and learn maybe accounts, or learn this or learn that. And you find that you are not just wasting time with one person. You have now created a platform where so many other people can join in and can learn. Remember that your lecturer is a lecturer because he has gotten to the peak of the time. He probably doesn't have a one-on-one understand or teaching with students. But you have found a niche in the lecturing and saying that, okay, after the lecturer teaches at 3 o'clock, at 4 o'clock, at 5 o'clock, because you can't be teaching all the days of your life. You must also find time for your personal time, find time for you, find time for your own work. You can't teach all through. Specific timings. If you want me to teach you today, right after the lecture, this is the amount. If you want to wait tomorrow, 30 minutes, this is the amount. If you want 1 hour, this is the amount. So that you don't feel burnt on your journey of discovering purpose. I see that your passion is in teaching, but you see, teachers, just like us, we don't get paid a lot, but there are also teachers who get paid a lot because their wealth of wisdom cannot be done without. That is what you have, and you cannot belittle it, because if you belittle your wisdom, other people will belittle it for you. Put monetize what it is that you are giving. When you monetize it, you will see that there is more value, even from people receiving from it. Don't be afraid. You can monetize it. That's what you're doing. Everybody went to the class. Why can't everybody carry people and teach them? You have seen that there's much more to it, and you are now enhancing that part of it. So monetize it, put a cost to it. It can be 5,000 depending on where you are. It can be 2,000, it can be 3,000, but people are paying you for your effort. Then they won't take you for granted. Then you too also find fulfillment because you are also attending to other things. You cannot go and work in Mr. Biggs and then come back again and do lectures. You'll be tired. But in that thing that you are enjoying, you have monetized a part of it. If you want me to train you on the whatever of this is the amount. If you just want me to re-explain what the lecturer said, this is the amount. If you want me to even go through your notes, because for some people, as the lecturer is teaching, they probably did not write the right thing. That's why they don't understand what is being said. If you want me to check through your notes and proofread your notes or help you with the exam questions, this is the amount. Monetize what you're doing. I know people who are in the UK, in the US, monetizing their gifts because they are first-class students. And when you write an essay, they help you proofread that essay. They are making thousands and thousands of dollars. You can't even stick to only where you are.
Okay. Okay. I think. Okay. She's having network issues there. eBay or IB. What's your name? I think that's okay. Madam.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Sir.
Okay.
So much,
Ebi, if you're back, let me bring. Oh, I don't think she's back. I wanted to call Jamal to speak. He said he has a question. Jamal, do you want her to just read the comment and answer, or you want to speak? Which one? Hello, Jamal.
Hello, sir.
Yes. I said, okay, maybe our network has kicked her out. Okay, let's wait for her to come back. But I said, do you want to ask your question, or you want her to read the comment, the question on the comment, and answer you?
I think I will speak, sir.
Okay, so just hold on a bit. Let's come back. Okay.
I'm so sorry, my battery died. I had to log on with something else.
Okay, good, fantastic. So Jamal, she's here now. Can you ask your question?
All right, sir. Thank you so much, Mr. Remy. Good evening, ma'am.
Evening,
how are
Jamal.
you doing?
Very well,
thank you so much for giving us this chance to ask questions. And I was one of the fortunate students that attended your session last year
Yay.
at yes. I'm
Hi,
from
Jamal.
Rochas Foundation. I'm from Rochas Foundation College of Africa. I'm a graduate
Great.
actually.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you, ma. Thank you, ma.
Great, great.
I happen, the way I am, I just, one thing I hate is failure. I just
Right.
hate failing.
Mm,
And starting from secondary school, or yes, starting from junior secondary school, I've been trying my best in my studies. So, like nobody tops me in class or anywhere. So,
mm.
but now we finished secondary school, and it's like I faced an entirely different life.
That's
You
right.
understand? Yes.
That's
And the way, once I finished in secondary school, I was like, I was in the mood, to look for scholarships, read this book, read that book, get prepared for this exam, for external exam, for internal exam, a lot of things. And I tried so many times. I read like a lot of books, but scholarship I applied for, like they rejected me.
mm,
Like I don't know, I didn't get the scholarship from all the three places I've applied for, and
right.
that has made me, feel
Down.
so sad, you understand, to the point that every morning I just wake up without a purpose. Like I don't even have anything to wake up for, because I feel like even if I do something, I'm not going to get it. What's the need for? Let me just sit down and, like, be the way it is. Whatever comes, let me follow. You understand
I
that
do.
kind of thing.
I
So,
do.
and I'm not happy with how I am. Seriously, I want to get back to my myself, the way I was, but I
Right.
really don't know what to do. Like there is nothing that wakes me up every morning. Like
Right.
I just don't know what to do. Seriously, I don't know if you understand me.
I do. Be kind. Be kind to yourself. Be very kind to yourself. Um, this is one thing that school does not prepare us for, and I think this is why the class was hard last year. I believe last year when we were called, we were the preparation that the academy, the Rochas Academy, was trying to do for us that time that we met in that hall was to prepare us for the afterlife, prepare us for the afterlife of secondary school. Because honestly, we were caged in, or we've been put in a cage to think that, oh, because we are the best of students, when we come out, things will just be waiting in line for us. So this is now called a reality check for you. But be kind to yourself and be patient with the process, right?
Right.
You came from a background where you're very intelligent and schoolwork in academics. Right. Most times, people who are extremely excellent in academics, like when I was in secondary school, I'll use myself as an example. One of the schools, I went to three secondary schools. One of the schools that I went to, I wasn't concerned about grades. I could be 22 out of 25, and my parents weren't really bothering me because, in the first place, they didn't like the school. They just had to put me there because at that time, their monies were not enough for where they wanted me to go to. Now, when I got to a school where they wanted me to be in, and they had changed me, and I started all over again, I was either third position or second position every time in class. Now we had a
Wow.
young man who was first from first year of JSS1 to just SS3. There was nobody that beat him in first position. First position was his place. Now that kind of feeling, sometimes people who are always winning, when failure or when things don't work out for them, they feel that there's something that they've done wrong. And I don't want you to be in that space, because that space and that mindset is a mindset that prepares you for depression. And you're not depressed, and there's nothing that you have done wrong. Now, when it comes to application for scholarship or grants or whatever it is, be ready to have no's. And the more no's that you have, the better you are at one thing. reapplying, and the skills that you used to reapply. For example, I don't know if you've ever met anybody who has worked in the World Bank or UN. I went to the UN after my university course because I did international relations and politics. Part of the processes of doing international relations and politics in the University of Hull was that you had a gap year, a 3 months gap year in Switzerland. So I was actually in the Switzerland office. Now, I haven't been there for 3 months. I enjoyed it and I wanted to be there. But what they told me was I should go back to my country, Nigeria, and apply and become a representative of Nigeria. Honestly, when I came back to Nigeria to apply, I didn't know that the position involved a lot of politics, and I didn't get it. I actually did not get it. I was downcasted. I was upset. I was angry because everybody there loved me. They're like, oh, Ebi, you should just stay. Ebi, you should just do this. Ebi, you should just do that. Life sometimes will give you a situation where failure. That's why I said when you fail, don't be upset. When you fail forward. You are not failing backwards. The next grant and the next grant and the next scholarship and the next scholarship you're going to apply for, you will see that there's a difference. Now, if you have done 3 applications for scholarship and you still do not have it, you know in your heart of hearts you are deserving of the scholarship. Then you need to find somebody who is good in application in scholarship. Because there are people who are experts in grants. So, for example, Mr. Remy helps me when I need help. There are so many administrative things that Mr. Remy knows. I don't know. I call him and I say, Mr. Remy, how do I write this? How do I do this? How do I do that? That's because he's been doing it over and over again. He knows. There are experts who know how to help people in writing for scholarships, especially outside Nigeria, within Nigeria. In your country, wherever you are, there are people who know what the people are looking for, and they will help you present your case properly. So it's not a time for you to not wake up feeling pleasant with the day. I know that feeling can be overwhelming. Don't let it overwhelm you. Your next step of action, which is what I'm telling you now, find somebody who can help you write your scholarship. Now, write for help. Now, even if the person does not get it, now you now know what the expert has seen with your applications, and you can now do better. Also, think wide, think bigger than just the places you are applying for. Think further, think much more than who you are applying for. You'll be shocked that you are looking at 3 Ivy League schools. You now apply to somewhere that is not Ivy League. But after you have gotten the grant from or the scholarship from the non-Ivy League school, you now find that when you get there, you can still apply to the Ivy League space and still get it. But now you have more experience because you are coming from a place of another school has given you scholarship. You now want to go to where you're going, where you want to go to. There is absolutely nothing wrong in the way you're feeling. The only thing is don't dwell there and stay there. Come out of it quickly so that you don't miss on the various massive opportunities that are there. Or you can find another place who is willing to train you even more. Maybe you can apply for the Tony Elumelu grant. You can apply for the Ugumba grant. There's so many things you can do. Don't dwell on those 3 that have refused you. Albert Einstein was refused more than 98 times. He got a no, 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 no. This is how I prepare myself whenever I'm applying for anything, especially things like American visas. Those American visas, they put you on the edge. Now, when I go and apply and they say, at this point, you are not eligible, I feel bad. But when I come back, I say, okay, what is even the reason why they said no? What are the reasons? Usually when you apply, they tell you certain reasons. Have you gone through those reasons? Look at it. Please don't feel down, Jamal, at all. You have the needed skills. You have the requisite building. You went to an Ivy League place that have impounded in you so many things that the world is waiting to see. So if 1 or 2 or 3 people says no, the one that is waiting for you, that God has prepared for you, is going to say yes. Now, after you have gone to that place, you can now apply for better. But Einstein's mom received a letter from the school, and the letter says, your son is unteachable. Your son has no knowledge. He has no cognitive understanding. He is not teachable. She looked at the letter. She folded the letter and told the young man, your school says you are exceptional in what you're doing. What is the perspective to which you're looking at this? Are you looking at it from a point of failure? Or are you looking at it from a point of, they didn't accept me, let me try again? Do you know there are people that try for scholarships 10 times, 20 times, until the scholarship board actually says, this person is always trying every year. Can we see this person in person? Don't give up. In life, don't give up. In life, be ready for the no's. The no's are an acknowledgement that where you want to go to, you can get there. So please don't feel sad. Tap yourself on the back, pat yourself, give yourself a high five, buy yourself a Coke, cheer up yourself. You are the cheerleader. You are the major cheerleader of yourself. Nobody else can cheer you on. But me and Mr. Remy right now, we are cheering you on. Find
Thank
the
you so
next
much.
scholarship and apply again. Find somebody who can help you and apply again. Keep applying, keep applying. One day you will come back on this platform, and I pray it is sooner than later, and say you got the scholarship, and then we will all applaud for you. Nobody ever sees the inner part of your struggles. Only when you have achieved will they clap for you. So this part of your process is for you to be able to advise another person to say, do you know what? When I was applying, I also got 3 rejections. That is what we need, and that's what purpose is all about. You keep trying and trying until somebody says, my doors are open for you, coming. So I'm going to cheer you up today. Well done. Keep applying until the right one comes, and then they will honor you, because these ones, they probably have not seen the giants that is in you. Don't give up because of them. There's much
All
more
right.
to give. Well
All
done.
right. Thank you so much, ma.
All right. Mr. Remy, is it time to bow out? I'm having so much fun. Hi,
Jamal,
Ture.
let me just add that, Jamal, I
All
don't know
right.
why I don't know why you didn't approach me while you were doing the applications. So I want to volunteer to
Oh,
help you.
thank you, Mr. Remy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much, sir.
By the way,
Amazing.
Ebi, so that's the guy that wrote the feedback about your session
Yes,
last year.
yes. I
Jamal.
saw. I even remember his face. I'm just
My,
seeing.
my doctor. Yes, I call him doctor.
Don't
Yeah,
worry.
so,
Don't worry.
yeah,
All the Ivy League schools, UCLA, all of them, John Hopkins, they are wonderful places. But if you don't get in there, it's not the end of the world. Get to where you are and then still apply to them. Education never stops. I'm about to start my PhD. I'm just afraid. But
Wow.
it never stops. You can do a PhD, you can do an MBA, you can do a master's, I have 2 masters, but I'm not stopping at it. So you keep striving and getting there. And one day when you stand on the pulpit of the World Bank, of the highest hospitals, and tell your story, people will be inspired. This is the journey we're talking about. So Jamal, don't be downcast. Don't worry.
All right.
It's
Thank you
coming.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Ali is like, you want to say something? Ali
Hi, Ali.
was there last year too. Ali, you want to
Yes,
say
I
something?
remember. Hi.
So,
Okay.
good evening, everyone.
Good
Good
evening.
evening.
Yeah, I actually came late to the video call though,
Great.
because my phone was my phone. But I overheard what you were saying about not giving up. Because me too, I was having when I was doing my work last year, I was having some issue with my reading and other stuff. So I confided to one of my teachers, and what he told me was, never give up. Always try your best, even if it's not improving. But you know that at every step you take in life, there's a little achievement.
That's
So
right.
at least, yeah, that was the word of encouragement he gave me, which really helped me. So I will repair this thing back to Aman. In life, there are many rejections in
That's
life.
right.
So the
Right.
more you push harder, the easier it becomes.
That's
So
right.
just keep on pushing. So
Thank
my only advice is thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Ali. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Amazing.
much.
Amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I think this is over 1 hour that we've been so they are amazing. Yeah, you don't get tired when you're listening to episode. So
Thank
but
you so
I know you got a lot to do. So what do we say to her? What do we say to her before we
Thank
let
you,
her go? What do
guys.
we say?
Thank you. Thank you, man. Thank you
Thank
so much.
you.
Remember, there's something she said. There's something she said. Let me remind you. Purpose is a deep well, and only you who is drawing from the well knows how
Understand.
deep it is.
That's
So
right.
at this juncture, on behalf of my boss, His Excellency Gumba Uchiwosu, we want to thank you again for obliging us for this opportunity of engaging with the youth from across Africa. I didn't tell you, as usual, the African Students Leadership Academy. Today we had students from Tanzania, Ghana, and others that joined us. So
amazing. I'll be having live sessions in their countries very soon. Don't worry. They will start going nation to nation and gather all of us and make sure that together we build Africa. Don't worry.
Thank you so much. So to all the students, we appreciate you for joining the session. Remember to drop your feedback so that we can publish it. Drop your feedback on the WhatsApp group so that we can publish it. For those that need to get connected to Madam Elezianya, please connect with me, DM me so that I can do the connection. Thank you and God bless you all.
Thank you, Mr. Remy. Thank you, Peace. Thank you, Ali. Thank you, Jamal. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ebi.